Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Raven's Haven's SCP reaction video. Today, we're going to be reacting to SCP-003 Biological Motherboard. Apparently, it's a Euclid K-class SCP. So we're going to check this out. But before we do, don't forget to take a second to just hit that like button and subscribe if you're not part of the Tengu Nation. Let's get on with the video.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-3. Object Class: Euclid. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-3 is to be maintained at a constant temperature of no less than 35 degrees Celsius and ideally kept above 100 degrees Celsius. No living multicellular organisms of Category 4 or higher complexity may be allowed to come into contact with SCP-3. In the event of total power failure, if SCP-3-1 begins to increase its mass, assigned personnel must engage in skin contact with SCP-3-1. Ideally, personnel may use their body heat to return SCP-3-1 to above the critical temperature. However, skin contact must be maintained even in event of SCP-3 reaching activation temperature, lasting at minimum until SCP-3-1 advances fully to its second growth stage. Personnel who enter SCP-3's containment area must first be examined for body parasites of Category 4 or higher complexity and sterilized if such organisms are present. All personnel who have come in physical contact with SCP-3-1 are to immediately report for sterilization afterwards. SCP-3-1 must not be removed from SCP-3-2 except in case of emergency procedures.
It is a biological thing, so
any significant change in SCP-3-2's rune activity, including pattern, frequency, or color, should be reported within 3 hours of occurrence. Cessation of rune activity must be reported immediately. SCP-3-2 must be supplied with power via the source designated Generator 0039 at all times. Description: SCP-3 consists of two related components of separate origin, referred to as SCP-3-1 and SCP-3-2. SCP-3-1 appears to be composed of chitin, hair, and nails of unknown biology, arranged in a configuration similar to that of a computer motherboard. Testing reveals SCP-3-1 to predate earliest known circuit boards by a factor of thousands of years. SCP-3-1 is considered
how much you want to bet this has something to do with
dangerous except under certain conditions.
sarcasm?
SCP-3-1 was found on a stone tablet, SCP-3-2, on which it currently resides. The runes on SCP-3-2 are not part of any known language and emit pale, flickering light patterns. SCP-3-2 is controlled by a non-biological internal computer, the contents of which are mostly inaccessible without risk of damaging SCP-3-2. SCP-3-2 is capable of controlled emissions of radiation, including heat, light, and anomalous radiation types. SCP-3-2 contains an internal power source of an anomalous nature, which appears to have been losing powers since several centuries before discovery. It is considered probable that SCP-3-2 was created for the purpose of containing SCP-3-1. Partially interpreted data recovered from SCP-3-2 may refer to a past and/or potential future LK-class restructuring event caused by SCP-3-1. SCP-3 was located by remote viewing team SRV-04 Beta. It appears possible that SRV-4 Beta was deliberately contacted by SCP-3-2. Other organizations have also been alerted to SCP-3's existence, possibly by similar means. Despite this activity, SCP-3-2 does not appear to be sentient, based on its lack of reaction to M03 Gloria analysis and procedures.
Yeah, I don't know
when
what that is.
When SCP-3 drops below the temperature of 35 degrees Celsius, both components react. First, SCP-31 enters a growth state characterized by an exponential increase in mass. This growth state consists of two stages. In both stages, SCP-31 partially fuels its growth by converting matter around it, starting with any surrounding inorganic material, including atmospheric elements, then non-living organic material, including cells of dead skin, hair, chitin, enamel, keratin, and other biological materials. The first stage is always the same.
All hard.
SCP-31 will first increase its mass, then take a form similar in shape to an alpha-uroid, brittle star, of 15 meters in diameter, including what appears to be a central processor of 3 meters in diameter. It will form sensory organs that appear to scan its surrounding environment, and will partially convert the area around it to an unidentified anomalous substance. SCP-32 seems immune from conversion. The second stage describes a growth alteration which occurs when SCP-3 comes into contact with living organic material. SCP-3 appears to template itself off of the organic material and will attempt communication with organisms that match its initial template or templates. In its second stage, SCP-31 may pause, slow, or change its growth, and will also convert inorganic and non-living organic elements into functionally similar structures while anomalously altering their physical makeup. While growth is consistent in the first stage, in the second stage, SCP-31's growth rate is diminished by 20 to 90%, as long as SCP-31 remains in contact with living organic material. The percentage is determined by the complexity of the organism or organisms in contact with SCP-31. SCP-31 appears to devote a large amount of processing power to analysis of living organic material. During each of SCP-31's growth stages, SCP-32 releases bursts of radiation that temporarily inhibit SCP-31's growth, or reverse this growth when the temperature of SCP-31 rises above 100 degrees
keep itself
Celsius.
in check.
Similar radiation emissions have been replicated or recorded via other anomalous means. SCP-31's biology has been the subject of extensive study. Significant elements have been identified similar to SCP-1512 and SCP-2756. The latter two of which have no further confirmed connection with SCP-31 and no known connection with each other, and none of which are fully understood, technically even less understood than SCP-3, thanks to the extensive cross-disciplinary research on the SCP-3 objects. To date, no convincing analysis has been put forward which satisfactorily explains SCP-31's connection to these SCP objects or others, nor its connection to modern technology beyond appearance, and potential mimicry via unknown mechanism.
How did they mimic it?
301. Acting on information gathered from...
It was created thousands of years ago. How did they mimic what a circuit board looks like today? Unless it's just a natural thing that no matter what, all circuit boards are supposed to look like that or something. Or is a time travel type thing. Who knows?
Linguistic analysis of SCP-32's runes and comparative data analysis, research team M03 Gloria has managed to establish a link between SCP-3 and for analysis of its functions. SCP-31 must now be considered sentient and is to be kept a minimum of 1 kilometer from and the resulting byproduct at all times. Addendum
I'd like to know what that
302.
redacted was.
SCP-32's power loss has been exacerbated by the procedures performed by M03 Gloria. On orders of 0510, M03 Gloria will continue procedures. Addendum 303.
You wanted to lose power. Okay.
During M03 Gloria procedures, SCP-31 doubled its mass and began rapid structural growth. Temperature was immediately returned to 100 degrees Celsius. Growth and mass increase of SCP-31 continued for 9 minutes and 9 seconds, at which time a sustained radiation spike was produced by SCP-32. In response, SCP-31 returned to its normal state, in 3 minutes and 39 seconds. New growth dissolved into a dusty residue which was collected for analysis. Both SCP-31 and SCP-32 ceased all detectable activity. SCP-32 did not resume activity until connected to external power source. SCP-32's runes glowed uniformly gray and did not resume normal activity for 3 hours. SCP-32 no longer appears to be able to maintain containment area at a temperature above 35 degrees Celsius without external power supplied by generators 3-3 through 9. Addendum 304. The procedure detailed in Addendum 303 was repeated, and SCP-31 again entered a growth state. After 10 minutes and 13 seconds, SCP-32 once again produced a sustained radiation spike. SCP-31's growth stopped for 36 seconds, then it resumed at its previous pace. On quadrupling its mass, SCP-31 formed a coherent outer shell and body. After appearing to scan its environment and partially converting its environment, SCP-31 then breached containment, entering the observation gallery where 9 members of M03 Gloria were present. On physical contact with the team members, SCP-31 encompassed them in rapidly grown appendages and stopped growth for 15 minutes. SCP-31 then resumed growth and rearranged the component parts of the center of its form to the shape of a 3-meter-tall female humanoid, with peripheral tentacles shifting to extrude primarily from SCP-31's newly formed hair and spine. SCP-31 then produced rudimentary vocalizations in an apparent initial attempt to communicate with researchers.
Okay.
An unknown individual approached the compromised containment area in company of a full squad of agents. The individual claimed to be acting on orders of 0510 and attempted communication with SCP-31. Following this incident, Agent Jackson of M03 Gloria successfully restored power to SCP-32 and activated backup generators to return the temperature to 100 degrees Celsius. SCP-31 returned to its normal state within 21 minutes and 7 seconds and was successfully recontained without incident. All 9 members of M03 Gloria affected by SCP-31 were afterwards found to be physically unharmed, with no residual side effects besides psychological trauma. The converted materials of SCP-3's former containment area did not dissolve and are now under analysis. Addendum 305.
What the hell?
In light of the previous incident, 0510 was removed from the 05 Council by joint decision of 05 and 05.
What?
M03 Gloria procedures have been indefinitely suspended.
0510 knew something.
Program M03 Gloria required. Incident Report A21B, Cycle 8, for dissemination to 05 Command and staff. Interviewers redacted.
That's some unprecedented type of stuff. I'm like, it happens that the other 05 council members vote on kicking another 05 member out. Damn. 0510 was he was up to something, it seems. He sent that guy in there on his behalf to talk to this thing. He knew something.
Present 052, 5, 7, 10, and staff. Interviewed Dr. Tilda David Moose, M03 Gloria
Dr. Tilda
Lead.
Moose.
Excerpt 5A.
She tried to talk to us. We all heard her voice in our heads, in a sort of half-language we couldn't fully understand. Some of the others passed out immediately. I lasted a little longer, but it wasn't because of mental fortitude. It's just that she was trying to tell us different things. She showed Jones a replay of all the memories of everything Jones ever felt anything about, all over the course of a few minutes. She ripped 3 of the researchers apart and put them back together unharmed. She doesn't understand human emotion.
That's where the trauma came from. Yeah, I'd be traumatized too if you ripped me to pieces and then put me back together like nothing happened. I'm like, you just ripped me to pieces and then put me back together. It's like, yeah, that'll fuck with you. But apparently, she didn't understand that that's fucked up to do.
Or pain, or very much about how we experience the world. Yes, I would say the containment procedures are necessary. Listen, she wants to remake the world into a paradise. A paradise filtered through her own alien understanding of paradise, but still a paradise designed for us, for humanity. She would be happy to make a paradise for any sufficiently complex organism she comes across first. Anything with a complex enough mind to accept her. Say, a dog or a housefly. If she breaches again, we have to be there first.
That's right.
What would it be like? I don't know. She showed us images. Not quite images. I can see them in my head, but they're not pictures. The closest thing I can think of is what you see when you close your eyes suddenly and tightly, but brighter and more complex. The images had metallic sounds associated with them, and sensory details that we don't have the words or concepts to describe. The whole effect felt like words of some kind. I believe she wanted to see what we could understand, so she could understand us. She didn't have time to finish analyzing us. I don't know what would have happened if she had.
This concludes today's lecture. Thank you for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed. Goodbye.
Well, that was something. I don't know, man. That one was just. I was thinking maybe it had something to do with the Sarkics because it's biological. Maybe Davites. They also dabble with the biological stuff, although they're more sacrificing and blood worship and stuff. But interesting. I would think that if it was a Davite artifact or a Sarkic artifact, that maybe it was created so that way it could give one of those organizations, or should I say religious sects, the ability to reshape the world in their image. But since it's like an adolescence or like it's brand new, it doesn't know. It has to, analyze the mind of a higher creature in order to understand what the creature wants. Like he said, it's perfectly happy to make the perfect world for anything that is of a complex, brain. Like you said, a dog, a housefly. So whatever it fully analyzes, it'll then go out and start making the world a perfect world for that organism, which is very screwed up and scary if it analyzes the wrong organism. That's why it's better if it did do it, it would be for a human. But yeah, you guys let me know what you think about this SCP. It's very strange. I'm actually, I think that 0510 knew something because he sent that person out there to go talk to it without notifying the rest of the 05 Council. And he was the one who specifically kept on doing the I forgot what they call it, the test that kept on sucking out more and more energy out of it until she manifested. I guess that energy source is keeping it from manifesting. So yeah, it's weird how they have it set up, but I like it. I'd like to see where that would go in the future and how it would branch out. But yeah, that's just whoa. Anyways, with that said, just let me know what you think. If you have any recommendations for other videos, leave it in the comments below, and I'll take a look at it and see if it's, something that I would like to check out or how long the video is. So just leave it in the comments. And with that, just don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. If you're new to the Tengu Nation, just subscribe and become a Tengu Nation member. All right. See you later.